Hey everyone, and welcome to a new season of Supercar News with Supercartribe, with me, Andy Rasool. It's been a while since we had an episode, and I'll explain why in another video, and I'll bring you up to date with what's planned and what's planned for the future. There'll be a link at the end of this video. If this is the first time you're watching, each week we cover the latest news from around the world in the world of supercars. We write daily articles on our website Supercartribe, which is supercartribe.com, and in this show we talk about the best of the news bits from the week itself. First up, biggest news story of 2020, the coronavirus. You all know how it's completely devastated the industry and lives across the globe. Although it's still causing mass disruption to our daily lives, the car industry finally seems to have found a way to safely bring teams back to work, back together, making beautiful automobiles that we all love. Bentley Motors was amongst the first to resume production in the UK, with the Crewe factory resuming operations on the 11th of May, with 1,700 staff beginning to really gradually get back into the plants and back up to full capacity. Production began at about 50% of what is normally standard to try and make things a bit more efficient. Rolls-Royce likes to do things a little bit differently, and even their return to date timing was specifically chosen as the 4th of May. Not just because of some poor Star Wars joke, but because May the 4th, 1904, that's the date that Honourable Charles Rolls and Henry Royce met at the Midland Hotel in Manchester, a meeting that led to the two men founding the Rolls-Royce Motor Company. They became manufacturers of the finest cars in the world, and they still are today. The Italians were badly affected by the COVID crisis, and for a while things looked pretty bleak. Thankfully, things have improved significantly, and recently Lamborghini have returned to work as well. Actually, that's not actually technically true, because the Santiago factory was repurposed during the crisis to produce PPE equipment for a local hospital in Bologna. They weren't alone actually, because Aston Martin made uniforms for hospital staff, complete with Aston Martin labels. Gonna be a collector's items in the future, I'm sure. Ferrari had closed too, obviously, and were double hit with the closure of their road and F1 factories. But the road car factory has now resumed production on the 8th of May, hitting full production from the starting date. Ferrari obviously did it in style, so the first car off the line was a special edition Ferrari Monza SP2, set for a very lucky customer. Next up is a great story from Bentley. You may recall the article that we wrote a couple of months back about the Bentley Bacala. This is an exclusive sports barchetta of which only 12 examples will be made, and Bentley ran a competition with entrants invited to use Bentley's extensive palette of vibrant exclusive colours to create their own virtual Bacala. Well, the winner was Eleanor, who used the rainbow colours, which had been widely adopted as a symbol of hope during this troubled and worrying time. The Bentley colours include dragon red too and azure purple. Now the fortunate owners of the real Bacalas can also specify all of the rainbow colours, both inside and outside of their cars. The next story is one of innovation by an Aston Martin dealer in the UK. The dealer is HWN Aston Martin in Walton-on-Thames, which just happens to be my local dealership. Handy when I finally buy an Aston, I guess. What they have launched is a complete mobile service van called the Flying Technician. I love the name, by the way, which can visit owners' homes and to service their cars without ever leaving the home. Now, the idea I love about this is because I just booked my BMW with a local dealer in the UK, and since I'm not there, that I had to arrange for them to come pick up the vehicle, service it, and then drop it off. This is one step better in that the car will never need to leave my home. The idea was already in motion before the COVID lockdown started, but the timing couldn't have been better. Some say the best ideas come from looking at things from the customer's perspective, and in this case that's definitely one of those moments. There are a couple of restrictions though. Firstly, you need to have an Aston Martin, of course. You need an outdoor flat area, solid and approximately 6 meters by 9 meters in size. Secondly, it's for standard servicing only. So, if there's anything out of the norm that needs to happen, the vehicle will need to be taken to the workshop. I know this because I cheekily asked them to do a full engine rebuild on my drive. They happily offered to pick up the car, but they said they can't do that sort of thing on the driveway. And what's the price of this personalised service? £79 plus the standard cost of the service. Now that is great value if you ask me. Finally, if you want a brand new Rolls-Royce Cullinan but can't afford the real deal, Rolls-Royce have a solution for you. It's an exact 1/8 scale model of the car itself. Now you might be thinking, oh, like a Barago model? Nope, it's nothing like that. Firstly, Barago is typically 1/18 scale, while this is a 1/8 scale, which means it's much larger. Secondly, it's made by Rolls-Royce themselves, so you know it's going to be special. But you have no idea how special it is. A normal model will take about 800 man hours to build. Each of these hand-built 1/8 scale models takes 450 hours to complete. That's more than half the time of a full-sized example. They are built to order, matching their own bespoke examples, finished as the customer's wishes, consisting of more than 1,000 individual parts. It's hand-painted in traditional Rolls-Royce fashion, even with the coach lines being added by hand. The choice of more than 40,000 standard colours are available for the model, as it is for the Cullinan itself. Open the doors and with the help of illuminated tread plates, the viewer can marvel at the perfectly recreated interior using the same materials used on the real thing, even down to the headrest embroidery, seat piping, stitching and the detailed wood finish. And the price? Well, the CEO skirted around that particular question, but as with all things Rolls-Royce, if you need to ask, you can't afford it. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell. It really helps us out, and you'll get a ping when our next episode comes out. Also, mentioned at the start, here is a link to the vlog episode where I go through why we stopped producing episodes and what we'll be doing in the future, etc. We have some big ideas and some big changes that are coming, so if you want to know what's going on, click on the link above. Anyway, that's all for this episode. We'll be back next week with another episode, Supercar News of the Week.